Interestingly enough, as of last year, in the United States, we finally reached 50% of the population that shopped online. That means there's 50% to go. We're only at the halfway pole, which means there's a lot of growth beyond where we are. Real estate in the last 10 years has come a tremendous way in representing itself to the public, and where at one time all consumers, when you said how many buyers are out there, it was very limited to the people who just contacted you. Now people don't have to contact you, and virtually everyone is a buyer as long as they go to a real estate website and start looking at houses. They're a potential buyer and seller, of course. So I thought it very important to have a top rate website. And one of the things we're going to talk about today is you can have the best website in the world. It can be the best looking and the best functioning, but if no one sees it, it just doesn't matter much. People need to see your site. And so a lot of that. What's that?
What have you done differently to make your site visible? Because a lot of agent sites are just there. Right?
Oh, absolutely. One of the things I started doing early on is writing content. And I believe that was one of the biggest helpers in getting your site out there and learning how to write or finding someone to write content that's specific to your local market, your local area. Google picks that up very good as relevance. And when you start working with content, you really can get places. Also, with what Dale does is with the IDX feed, is you make all your property pages from the IDX feed, those dynamic pages, indexable.
Wait, what do you mean? Wait, what does that mean?
Indexable?
Yeah, what to everybody? I want to understand.
Okay.
I want people to understand that.
What that means is if I create a web page like real estate in Berks County, and I write an article about how wonderful real estate is in Berks County, that's one page. I can have that page indexed by the Google bots, and that'll show one page out there on the internet. When there's 40,000 listings in an MLS, and you have them all fashioned to your website through an IDX data feed, now you can virtually have 40,000 pages indexed. And it starts with your domain name, jeffreyhorealtor.com/listings/ the address of the property. Done correctly, now you have a monster. And I can tell you that's pretty much how Zillow, Realtor.com, and those other megaliths out there get ranked so well, is because they just have a dominance of indexed pages out there and content.
So you're saying that every search that somebody does or that you create gets indexed by Google, and it appears on the Google search, right?
Absolutely. Every address is botted as long as it can be found on your site, is connecting to your site.
So why not I've got like 40,000 people on my database. I could just create a search for all 40,000 and I could be indexed everywhere.
Well, certainly that. And again, you don't even need to do that to have these properties index. You can simply by having the data feed, it will ultimately index most of them, not all, but most. Okay. Now, the interesting part is what Dale has done is he's created a system of what I call a property drip. Somebody calls me and says, Jeff, I need a 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath home in the Wilson School District. So I can put together a search on my site, send it to them through a property drip, and every time properties are listed that cater to that buyer's desire, he'll get an email to click to go to the link to my site on a page that's now created for them. The more visits you get and the longer these visits stay, create unique users, time on site, which are all things that are gauged through SEO with Google. And again, I'm sure Joe can follow up on this pretty well. But you want people on your site a long time, you want good index pages, and you want great content, and voila, you've got a ranking site.